Welcome back to the Titanium Hangar. This is Mike, and I'm coming at you with the weekly news in review for March 24th, 2024. 2024. Been a wild ride of a week for me. Having lots of fun over here. But getting into it, we've got, of course, Transformers news for Masterpiece, Legends, and Mainline. And we had something going on with Hasbro with kind of just reveals of the pre-orders of stuff we've already seen. We've got some stuff going on with Motu, Masters of the Universe, and they showed a few things, did a little presentation in kind of distracts you from pre-ordering your Cyclone and all of that. But pretty cool. They did reveal a few things. It was pretty interesting. We also have the Target Haulathon, and if you're in on this stuff, I've barely got my toe still in the turtle game. Sadly, I have to admit, if I see this in the store, I'm buying it. But I'm not going to chase it. But if I see it, I'm buying it. That's what I've told myself. Because I almost never see those, so it's no big deal. And then you got Mafex and their boys going deep. And then we've got Alter Beast by Jax, which are they no longer Jax specific? But anyway, I've got some stuff to say in this segment. If you are interested in this, I've got some pictures that I've kind of pulled up to show you what I think about this line, where it should go. But I'm not super excited. I'm hesitantly excited. We're going to get into that. And then, of course, this week we actually had some Star Wars stuff. So I'll share my feelings on this, and I'm going to say it's a mixed bag, but it's not terribly bad. Some of it's good, decent. Some of it's, like, I'll tell you when we get into it. And I lost a few subscribers as I launched my other channel, but that's not too bad. I thought I'd lose 200. Anyway, let's get into talking about the news coming up. All right, starting out with what's going on at Show Z store. Their Fans Toys FT61 Inquisitor Scourge is coming into stock. Now, mine, I think mine's on the way. I paid for mine the other day, but they did have an issue with, I think, the Target Master, and so they sent them back to the factory for the Target Master to get swapped out correctly. I haven't watched reviews to see if that's something going on with other people, but it's starting to come in stock. So if you have pre-ordered this, then start expecting the payment to show up. Payment request, that is. Okay, so we have the Trans Art Optimus Skateboard Gorilla Optimus Optimal Primal, whatever. Trans Metal Optimus Primal. There we go. And it's $100. I think this is just a straight up reissue. I don't know if there's any paint deco changes or anything, but I went ahead and got that. So I've got that pre-ordered, got that on the way, and if you're interested in it, it's pretty cool that they actually put their figures back out. And if there were any issues in the past, I'm pretty sure that they have corrected them by now. And the long-awaited AMK Pro Series G1 Optimus Prime pre-assembled model kit for $60 is in stock right now, so you can go add it to your cart, buy it now, whatever. And I gotta say that the Megatron, I'm very impressed with the Megatron. I know I'm going to be very impressed with this. And the Megatron's already sold out, so pretty good line they got going on here. Then Starscream is next. And then on Gundam It, which is Showzi's other site that sells more action figures than robots, they've got the Jada Toys 1/12 scale Street Fighter figures on pre-order for these new ones. Now they are $7 more than MSRP at regular stores. If you can find them in the regular store, they would be cheaper. But I figure this option might be for people in other countries or people that just can't find them. If you can't find them, maybe you can check there. But I just thought it was interesting, and it's just caught my eye because I didn't know they were going to be carrying it. But anyway, I want to show it. So first thing I want to talk about is the Omnibot, the next Omnibot from X-Transbots. I think it looks really pretty decent. This is kind of an example of what a difference paint will make for this thing. And it looks exactly like their promo pics, except it doesn't look fully painted. And once it's fully painted, it will look way more interesting. But it's one of those other things, too, that I am really excited to see this getting made. And having had these as a kid and remember having them as a kid, and now to just get them as an adult and never ever realizing that we would get these Masterpiece is just awesome. I mean, I don't even think Hasbro's redone them yet, which is quite impressive that X-Transbots is even taking it on. And there is the car mode. And I hope they're not too complex, but I don't think they're going to be that bad. Just from looking at them, it just looks like they went really close to the G1 transformation with just a few extra steps. Hopefully. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. We've been down that road before, but this is pretty cool, pretty exciting, and they left the same gimmicks that you got from the original G1. So a lot of great stuff with this, and I've got to make sure that my G1s are really in good shape for the comparison. Standard alt mode right next to one of their other cars there. So that looks pretty good, and it works. They do a great job in both modes. They really do. And yeah, fantastic. I think the whole point of this is to show you that you are going to have some clear plastic in this, and that is something that could be a concern. But anyway, there it goes. So we got some really cool pictures here of the new Hasbro, which I don't know how this happened, but okay, the new Hasbro version of Gears next to the Bad Cube version of Gears. And I want to point out, that Hasbro did a good job on this. I want to say they did a good job on this. But the Masterpiece one from Bad Cube still holds up, still holds its own, and still, like, you're looking at the left is a $25 figure and the right is a $60 figure. But I kind of feel like your Hasbro one would work in your Masterpiece collection if you wanted it to. Here's the alt mode, and I kind of feel like Bad Cube might be more cartoon and the Hasbro one might be more of the toy, if I'm right. I might be wrong. Anyway, still both looking good. It's just interesting to see how 7 or 8 year old technology or design from Bad Cube, I feel like it still holds up really well. Now, on to Fans Toys comparisons. Who's going to do that? Alright, so we got pictures of the new Star Toys tracks and better pictures. And this is how it always goes, right? You get a really terrible digital image, then you get sort of an okay look at it in the prototype form, and then they start showing you everything the prototype could do. Great articulation. This thing looks fantastic. It's a really good figure. And just based on their Blitzwing, I knew this would be good as soon as I even saw the renders. But now getting to see it in this form, it looks really good. Like the forearms, everything comes together solid. The legs, everything's solid. The waist, you can see that he's got the ab crunch going on. And then the side, it doesn't look like he's super hollow, like you can stick your finger all the way through the side of him to the other side. So yeah, all over, it looks really good. Here he is from the back, and I'm not exactly sure what's going on with this like back panel hanging off of his back. So there's some kibble there, but I don't think it really detracts from it too much, but it is a thing. Maybe that's so that the car mode is cleaner, which I guess that's forgivable, but that's something that I really didn't notice going forward there, but looking good. And altogether, a pretty clean car mode, alt mode, and does continue having all the gimmicks that you would expect to have with tracks. And yeah, pretty cool figure. I look forward to getting this figure eventually one day. So I've been hearing a lot of people talking about this all week, and I've been busy with a lot of other things, and not just YouTube. I've got a lot of things going on, major projects in real life that are taking like 3 to 5 hours of my day. But I have to admit that so many people, I see these chats about this thing with the split chest, the DX9, and their prow. And people that are Masterpiece collectors are complaining about it. And I'm like, why do they care? It's Legends. Why do they care? Turns out it's Masterpiece. Like all along, everyone else thought it was Legends, and it's Masterpiece. And some people are actually bashing on the split in the center. I understand why. I see why. I think that it looks good. It looks clean. Is it good enough to be better than what Takara did? I think they did some things better, and some things are stepped back. I will probably get my hands on it. I will get my hands on it and check it out. But truth be told, is it gonna be better than the Takara? I don't know. And then there's the alt mode, which looks pretty good. But I do want to say that this kind of goes into, if this exact mold was Legends, it would be awesome. It would be amazing. But in Masterpiece, it's missing the mark a little bit on that chest and a couple of other areas probably, but you wouldn't hear as many complaints if these were Legends collectors looking at the exact same pictures and you're told it's Legends. I guarantee it. So Legends gets a pass. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying Legends get a pass, where Masterpiece does not. Okay, so we got MPA Studio putting out more colors of their Optimus Prime. So these are all the different colors under the rainbow that they're putting out, and pretty interesting. It's smaller than Legends, I believe. I don't have any. I might eventually have to pick one of these up just so I can have one and talk about scale and match it all up and compare it. But I think it looks pretty decent. I mean, Optimus Prime sells, and that's all there is to it. So you just see all kinds of Optimus Primes. I used to joke, every week we get a new Optimus Prime, and it seems like we get 2 or 3 these days. And here's a fun figure showing all of these different figures kind of in a mode. So you've got Dead Optimus Prime, you've got like an Ultra Magnus, and then you've got the yellow one back there chilling. Pretty cool. Looks like someone had fun with the pictures. Jizai Toys is making at least a at least a file to print this, but this is the Cybertronian Hound. Not sure if you'd be able to buy it anywhere, but it looks really cool. Would be interesting to get your hands on one of these. What really kind of catches my eye on this is this something Hasbro might make? They might see this and go, yeah, that might be a good idea. And I gotta go rewatch that episode, but was Hound Cybertronian in there too? Would be pretty cool. And I don't remember, well, the Siege Hound didn't look anything like this. Size-wise, scale-wise, alt-mode-wise, just kind of how it compares and stacks up to whatever this other Hound is. It's a really old one, by the way. But yeah, pretty cool, pretty interesting. I'd be in on if we did a Cybertronian Hound in either Masterpiece or, I don't know about Legends. I don't think I'd be so into it in the Legends, which is kind of closer to what this would be. But still, pretty cool, pretty interesting. Mainline or Masterpiece, I'd be in on one. Speaking of Hound, there's more pictures of this Hound from the 5-pack. I think that thing's coming pretty darn soon because so many people get their hands on it and pictures of it and stuff. But I gotta ask this one question. People are upset that have kept up with all these figures all along, and now they gotta plop down 110 to buy this Hound. How much more upsetting would it be if you plop down 110 for this Hound, then they have a completely redesigned one in a year? Because that's kind of how Hasbro does it. This is like the last ditch effort on this mold before they move on to a whole different mold. But we'll see. Only time will tell. Alright, so I'm going to throw this picture up here. It's my cheap, lazy cop-out of talking about the live stream that Hasbro had. But I've got to admit that it's a cheap, lazy cop-out of a live stream because everything's already been shown 6 ways to Sunday. Now they're showing it 7th way to Sunday. But here's what they've got. The Core Beast Machines Cheetor, which I believe is them testing Beast Machines to see how well this sells. Should they do more? Should they do them in bigger scales? All that kind of stuff. Cyberverse Chromia. That's Deluxe. Deluxe Infernax Shard. And they said that one was actually based off of one of the GoBots. Can't remember which one they said. Solitaire? Did they say this was really based off of Solitaire? Because I don't see it at all if they said it was based off Solitaire. And then G1 Gears in Deluxe, which we've talked about, which I think is a great one. And I've pre-ordered mine at BBTS. I don't know. You might find it in the wild. You might not. Brawn is easy to find everywhere. It was for a while. Maybe it's getting harder now, but I expect this to be about the same. But we know they're gearing down production. Cybertronian Starscream, Voyager, Silverbolt, and then the leader Sandstorm. I keep forgetting he's a leader. Keep hoping he's Voyager. Darn, 55, 60 something bucks after tax for that guy, but it's probably worth it. Right now, I missed this because I've been really busy and I really didn't pay too close attention. But I didn't get my pre-order in through Target. It's a Target exclusive. So there was a big question mark. Is this still going to be a Target exclusive? And nobody really said anything. Now, this week we find out for sure it's Target exclusive and it is sold out for pre-orders. That doesn't mean a whole lot because I haven't had any trouble getting the past ones for the Cybertronian. But we are in 2024. Production decreases. Order quantities from retailers are decreasing. So this could be hard to get your hands on. I'm not paying no chump $80 to get one of these. I'm sorry. 35 is already too much for me, but I'll still get it. But I'm pretty sure you'll find it in the store if you miss pre-order. So we got this Mark Clonus here who is putting up his behind the scenes of the collection of this Doom and Destruction. And I want to highlight, well, all I really cared about in this set here is the Deluxe Decepticons. Love that they're doing it. I hear it's Transbot's doing it in the Masterpiece scale eventually, and I believe they will. I really do believe they will, but it may be years out. But we're getting these here and now. I mean, these will be in here in the next month or two, maybe May. I think it's when they're supposed to show up. But it's pretty awesome, pretty impressive, and I will be doing a review of these figures in a Retro Wednesday coming up. I think maybe 2 weeks from now, but coming up, I will be doing a review of the vintage figures because that's how excited I am about this, and I spent a whole lot of time trying to get all my vintage ones together and all that kind of stuff. But this is a really cool set. Here's the alt modes and yeah, it looks really good. No word on, is it Venom? Is that the one that's we're still waiting on? Venom, I think. Anyway, we're still waiting on that last one. We don't know exactly when we're gonna get it. It's like Hot Wheels is making a Bumblebee, and I'm gonna say there's a lot of Hot Wheels collectors out there, and I know a lot of Hot Wheels collectors, and I've bought a lot of Hot Wheels stuff for my buddies that collect, and I've kept some of the stuff, but I'm not super into Hot Wheels, and I'm not really super into them even with the Transformers on them. But I know a lot of people that are excited for it. So we're getting a Bumblebee here, but how far will they go? And I'm just curious, how big is a market for Hot Wheels for Transformers? I mean, I know people get mad that the bots don't transform, but the cars aren't going to transform. I mean, how many people really care? I'm curious. All right, so we got pictures of this bridge set showing up, and I have to admit that this is going to be another mixed bag because I think this is the best version of G1 Megatron Hasbro has made. It's better than the original one, but it doesn't turn into a gun. That's a problem. But I gotta admit that it looks good. They've already... The leak list says we're going to get another one, another Megatron in Studio Series down the road. And of course, we don't know if that's going to be another remold of this or a whole different one. But I've got this pre-ordered because I think it's the best one they've made, and I like it. I did not really like the Siege, even though this is Siege mold. It's super cleaned up and way more G1. Shockwave is a Voyager, but he was sold as a leader with some extra junk nobody wants. And I got mine for 25, but I did order the set, so he's going to be in it. I think he looks good. I think he looks really good. And what else looks good about him? Well, there's this one thing, and it's called Upside Down Submarine Mode. But I have to admit, they went out of their way to make this look like the G1 gun. I mean, it's literally way out of their way to make it look like the gun. And I mean, it's kind of low key. Did they not mention this before? But I mean, come on. Like I was on 2nd Street. And nobody pulls this out thinks that that's a real gun. I'm sorry. Nobody's going to think that's a real gun. This is non-problematic at all. This is not a non-issue. Look at that thing. It's an upside-down submarine mode. Lastly, the Soundwave. I have to admit that the Soundwave, like, I saw it and passed on it for 40, and everybody made such a big deal about it, how great it was and hard to find. So when I saw it again, I finally picked one up. But I think it's a decent looking Soundwave, and I still feel like down the road they're going to do a better one. That's just the way I feel. But if you don't want to pay like $100 for secondary market for the Walmart exclusive that showed up like one per Walmart or something, I don't know how short that was, but yeah, it's a good value for the set. All right, so the Transformer segment is now over. We are about to shift gears into talking about a bunch of other stuff. Hey, what a transition. Ramen Toy is teasing this. It's a teaser in Manila. Not exactly sure what's going on with this. I haven't talked to Ace about it. I probably should have, but haven't had a chance. I think it is a Thundar figure. I do. But it's kind of jumbled here. The problem is there's not that kind of fuzzy vest in the necklace, but it could be Thundar before the fuzzy vest necklace. The other problem is the fact you see the He-Man looking belt in there. So that's a problem too. It can't be Black Star because it doesn't have a pretty little cape. You know, tiny little pretty little cape that's like a 1/10 cape. So he doesn't have that. So I really don't know other than I want it to be Thundar and I will will it into existence. Also, there are Aces of Aviation. This is the air hose for the Aces of Aviation. Now, I'm not in on these. I think they're really cool. They're awesome, but I just don't need them for what I'm got going on over here. but a lot of other people do like it. So if you're in on this Aces Aviation, and I haven't followed exactly how to get that really cool handsome dude head, extra head sculpt, but they made a lot of extra handsome dude head sculpt for it, for whatever you might want to use it for. Still pretty cool, pretty awesome. Interesting stuff, Aces of Aviation, if you're in on that. Some pilots that would work with G.I. Joe Classified and stuff. And they have an exclusive, one of 200. They're only making 200 clear Machina Labs for Robo. So it's a webpage, Robo. Never ordered from them before. This is in $300 in Singapore dollars. I looked up the conversion, and it's like 75, 0.75 of a dollar to convert it over. So makes it maybe $225 to buy this. I just can't justify buying it. I want it, but I can't justify it. But it looks really amazing. Just a clear one of these. I'm considering it, but only 200, so I don't have much time to think about it. It'll be first Robo order. I've never ordered from them. Have you guys? All right, so we got Target Haul-a-thon, and let me say this. These turtles, I never had them as a kid. I mean, I didn't go too deep. I barely got past like that first wave, and then I was done. And like I was literally just done. I think Turtles was the last thing I collected, and I was still keeping up with some Joe and Transformers when I just cold stopped and found some girls or something, you know. But getting into this, I never even knew these were a thing until like 3 years ago. I was like, what? What is this? And I like them. I think they're cool. I think NECA is the best of the best of the best of the TMNT line. And I have kept up with about 80% of it, and I will probably get this. If I see it in person, I'll buy it. I think it looks cool. They've also they're kind of moving into this whole Eastman and Laird thing, which I don't know if that's for me so much. I picked up some of the stuff, and I think it's cool, but I don't know how much deeper I'm going to go. Don't know if I really need to go that deep. The problem with NECA is everything they make looks so amazing that I don't really understand or know why they made it, but I'm like, wow, it looks cool, kind of want it. But 2024 is a change in a few things for me, so I might not pick all that stuff up. Then there's this set here. It looks pretty cool with yet another one of these foot soldiers and a business suit Casey Jones. I gotta admit, I am so stoked I finally got a Casey Jones in the cartoon, and they actually just reissued that set. So I mean, NECA's done some good things for the customers, and it's awesome, but this set, I don't know if I'd even be in on it. The problem is, when you have it in your hand, and they look so amazing, it's hard to say no. But the prices have jumped up a bit, that makes it a little easier to say no. Alright, so getting into some He-Man stuff, this is kind of a fuzzy picture, but I like to show an overview. This is kind of my favorite pictures when they do show stuff like this. But they had this He-Man live. I didn't watch any of this live stream stuff, to tell you the truth. I just did not have the time this week. But I want to admit that I really like some of the stuff that's coming out. I like these cartoon animation. I haven't been picking them up. I've been trying to find a cheaper way to find them, but I might just break down and get them all from BBTS or whatever. The thing I'm not going to play games with is this Cringer. And I don't care so much about the Atom, but the Cringer, I've been looking at for, 3, almost 4 years now, looking at Cringers for the Classics line, pushing $100, 80 to $100. And I'm like, that's just too much. It's not worth it to me. And I think he was even just an extra add-in for another figure. The Queen Marlena is that right? Am I right? Anyway, I really didn't follow Classics that much, but trying to retroactively collect it is a nightmare. This is awesome. I love the way it looks. It's a fantastic Cringer. It'll work for both scales, in my opinion. And yeah, really awesome. So I'm in on it. I don't know how much it's going to cost, and you have to get it as a set, but I will definitely be in on two. I mean, I'm thinking probably $40, $39.99 to get this set. Am I right? Then we have this deluxe Hordak, which I think looks fantastic. It's awesome, but what about a standard Hordak or Horde Trooper? Let's say Hordak Horde Trooper. But it looks cool. It's interesting. I don't really know all about it. I didn't watch the live stream so they could explain it, but it looks interesting. I bet you this thing's going to be pricey as heck. It's going to be a big boy, and it's not going to be cheap. It's not going to be $23 or anything like that. It's probably going to be like $45 or $39.99. But I'll probably get one because, yeah, it just looks good. They showed off the Cyclone packaging, which I didn't even know. I didn't even pay attention to. But here's the Cyclone packaging, and I did get my 3 ordered. Just for fun, I added 3 more to my cart, and it would have let me buy 3 more. But they would have canceled it all if that happened. But I didn't buy 3 more. I just wanted to see what would happen. It's kind of crazy. This stuff is getting ridiculously expensive at the end of the line. It's almost like they're gouging you because they know they can. But what you gonna do? I mean, what you gonna do? Are you gonna not buy it? But I think it's a really cool figure, and I actually have 2 of the vintage ones. It's a lot of fun. They also showed the Origins Demo Man and Origins Geldor. They also showed the Origins Demo Man and Geldor. Did I just say that? Jinx or... Here we go. They look good. I don't know anything about them, and don't know anything about the order form or anything like that. But I do have to say this, that where's my Keklar? I mean, why can't we get that? I mean, they've already got everything set up for it. Why is that unannounced? Who are these guys? I don't even know. Some people that are deep in the lore probably do know it or are excited about it, but I'm not. I will get them probably, but it's cool. But I was really excited about a Keklar. Alright, so we get a 1/12 Collective Ghost Rider and Hell Cycle Vengeance Edition BBTS exclusive. And let me tell you something. This thing is $250 for a motorcycle and a Ghost Rider. But this is HasLab territory pricing. And let me tell you, if this was the HasLab, it would have funded, in my belief. If it was $250, you add this, and then all the other add-on figures, you add all that other stuff up, and it would work if it was the motorcycle and this, and then it was $250 instead of $350. That's why I believe that. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but this offering is only the figure and the motorcycle and whatever accessories come with it. But if you're into it, check it out. Still $250. All right, so McFarlane Toys, Toddy Mac, good old Todd McFarlane, is making some figures of Ozzy Osbourne, and he's getting into that whole actual making figures of people, and it's interesting how he's doing it. $25 each. You can get it on BBTS or Entertainment Earth. But how long? This is just for fun. How long will it take until he makes Ozzy Osbourne in a Batman costume? I don't know. We'll be shocked. I'll be shocked if he doesn't release that next week. I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but the boys, Mayfex, Deep, The Deep, and Soldier Boy are up for pre-order at BBTS, all those other places. $110. I was like, let me look up the price on these. $110. But here's the good thing. You're in luck, because if you still want to get all the other ones they've already released, they're still way in stock for 110. 104 for Black Noir, Billy Butcher 105, Starlight 110. I'm just gonna wait for NECA for 35. I'm good. So this past week we saw some announcements, just more or less just pictures of this werewolf from Altered Beast with a spirit ball. And I've got to say that when you look at the packaging art for Altered Beast, you see this werewolf, and that is kind of the symbol of the game. But to me, that's not my favorite. I'm going to show you a couple of pictures, and I'm going to tell you some ideas. If you're going to do Altered Beast, I'm in, but let's do it the way I want it. See, the werewolf was not my favorite. The bear was my least favorite out of all of them. My favorite was that green dragon-looking dude, kind of Fing Fang Foom-ish, sort of. That was my favorite, but will we get all of them? Like, I don't understand how we could not get all of them. I mean, seriously, you gotta be able to get them all. Will they make the Wimpy Gimpy dude the power up, and then the more powered up? I don't know. I suggest they make those. I suggest that we make the Wimpy Gimpy dude the power up. And that would be awesome. But would everybody be in on that? I don't know. What do you think? But I would be in on this whole line if we could get all of the beasts and these dudes. What do you think? All right, we got to wrap this up and talk about Star Wars real quick. We have this 3-pack of, is it Amazon? I think everything's Amazon exclusive this week. These are the Masters of Evil with Thrawn, Vader, and Grievous. Does anybody call Grievous Grievous? I don't know. I've heard one person say that. Anyway, this is perfect for an exclusive. This is stuff that not everybody wants. And if everybody wanted it, they would not be able to get it. I'm okay with it. I'm fine. It's actually a smart move from Hasbro to make this set an exclusive. Because I don't need any of this. I have it all. It's slightly different variations of something I already have. Don't want it. Might get it for $40. It's $80. Some people missed out on this stuff and don't have it and want it in this iteration, at least some iteration, and not pay secondary market prices. Good. Another Amazon exclusive with Darth Vader in the Holocron collection, which I'm warming up to this, but for the price point, I'm warming up for these in the future to be clearance price. I did get one, and I think they're okay. I think they're cool. Darth Vader as a holocron is as if you're going to be hunting him down to take him out, but also Force Ghost Darth Vader. I mean, that almost makes sense. Holocron Darth Maul. That's a Target exclusive. I think it's Target exclusive, and I think that one looks pretty cool too. It's been a while since we got a Darth Maul. I have to admit, the Hasbro that I know that reissues all this stuff over and over and over, they got to go back like 2 years to find the mold for this. So I guess it's kudos. All right, so now I'm going to kind of what you might call phone in the rest of this. But we've got a vintage collection Princess Leia Organa. You see down there in the bottom. I only see like a 150, which is a ceremony version. I could have sworn I've got a vintage collection Leia, but I guess we don't. I don't know. And then there's the vintage collection R2-D2, which I know we've got, but this is an updated one, I believe. Then there's a collection May Assassin. And I'm just going to read these. Vintage collection May Assassin, vintage collection Master Soul, Black Series Padawan Jackie Lon, and then Black Series Jedi Knight Yord Thandar, and then Black Series Jedi Knight Master Indara, and then Black Series Jedi Master Saul, and then Black Series May Assassin, and then Black Series Moff Gideon Premium Electronic Helmet, and then we already talked about them all. I've got to say, Acolyte seems to be taking over Hasbro, and from what I hear, people don't like the trailer. I didn't watch the trailer, Acolyte. I'm not going to watch the show because I don't have Disney Plus, and I'm not going to do any, whatever you got to do to watch it without Disney Plus. I'm not doing any of that. So I might get to know these characters at Ollie's for $5. All right, so let me know what you think about this week's weekly news in review. What else is going on out there that I missed? Because I probably missed some stuff because it's been a super ultra busy week for me this past week, and I'll try to get it back on track. I got a busy week coming up. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments below. Like and subscribe, and Titanium Hanger out.